Romans chapter 11, verse 2. God has not cast away his people, who he foreknew. Remember, verse 18, that you do not support the root, but the root supports you. Verse 23, and they also, if they do not continue in unbelief, will be grafted in, for God is able to graft them in again. I read Romans 11, I read that, and I thought that was some fancy scripture for somebody else to preach. Till I got the understanding of it. Jesus tells us we are the branches. In order for grafting to take place, there's a cutting and an exposure. And then there's a cutting and an exposure onto that which is to be grafted in. We're talking about commitment. So the branch by itself can do nothing. The branch, according to Romans 11, is separated because of unbelief. So a cutting takes place to bring exposure. A cutting takes place to bring exposure. And those two parts are then bound together. And pressure is applied. And there must be a commitment. Over time, not in one day, not in 1 minute, but over time, this branch is taking benefit of everything provided here. This branch is taking benefit of the stability of the roots. This branch is taking benefit of the maturity of the tree. This branch is taking benefit. Everything that's already been established in the tree is now given on to the branch. And he said, don't get it twisted. Remember that you do not support the root, but the root supports you. We are grafted into the plan and purpose of God. We don't need to establish our own roots. We just need to remain committed and bound to Him. The same grace that is committed onto you, that grace, we must be committed onto it. And then over time, guess what happens over time? You want to see what happens over time? Everything that the tree has is now produced in the branch. Commitment. Over time, commitment. I want to encourage you to be committed. Over time, do not grow weary in your well-doing. If you faint not, you will reap a harvest. Be encouraged on this morning. Remain committed to the vision. Remain committed to the assignment that God has given you. Everything that you need in order to bring the vision to pass is on the way to the vision. Every provision is on the way to the vision. It's time to get up off the starting line and commit onto the God who has been so committed onto us. It is time to be committed to the grace that is committed onto us. Noah found grace in the sight of God to break the curse off the toil of the ground, but he had to be committed to the plan. He had to be committed to that which was spoken, the purpose that was spoken. He must be committed onto it. So be encouraged on this morning. Be committed. And we're getting ready to hear about that everlasting. Yes.